Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. I wanted to start the video just by doing a bit of an outlook for next week. What do we have? Because the market today was very slow, but we still, of course, look at the chart as well for Bitcoin. But next week on Tuesday, it's CPI inflation data. Yeah, it's currently shown that month over month shows a 0.2% value for CPI. So that would be a slight reduction from the previous period, which was 0.4%, which doesn't mean it's negative. Yeah, it just means the increase is slower. Okay. And year over year, 4.1% compared to 4.9% previous period, and core CPI to be the same. Well, and then on Wednesday, we have the Fed FOMC statement at 2 p.m. I think it's 2 p.m. Eastern time, as always. And then that's typically in the UK in the evening. Yeah, it would be. And interestingly, the current forecast is no interest rate increase, but I'm a bit unsure. So obviously it's all about, is it going to be no interest rate increase or is it going to be 25 basis points? Obviously, no interest rate increase, I think, would have quite bullish short-term implications on the market. Yeah, it could be a bit of a catalyst there, which could drive prices a little higher. So let's take a look at the Bitcoin price here, Bitcoin chart, unchanged. So it's going to be a quick update, but word of caution here. This is typically the time where end of the week volatility is coming in. We had a very volatile Friday, Saturday, or early in Saturday, really. And that is typically around this time, it's where it starts. So maybe in a couple of hours or so. Usually you get a bit of volatility late on Sunday. So just be prepared for that. At the moment, Bitcoin is still holding the 25.3K level. I would still expect price to head down lower eventually. As I said in the previous video, if it's going to be exactly in this yellow wave structure, I have my doubts at this point, but also already highlighted that in previous videos. And the reason is that we're just in an ending diagonal, and ending diagonals, first of all, they change frequently their shape and their structure. That's part of the game. That's part of what a diagonal is. So the predictive qualities of Elliott Wave reduce obviously in a correction if you talk about the subwaves of a correction, because we have to remain flexible here in a corrective structure, but that's nothing new. In an impulse, that's a bit different. There's only one impulsive structure in Elliott Wave, whereas over 10 different corrective structures. I don't know how many there really are, but certainly quite a few. And they can easily morph into each other. And then corrective structures are, they are, you get, if you talk about different corrective structures, you get your nice and easy zigzag correction and a nice and easy flat correction. But in reality, if you know about these structures, there is a lot of mess in the middle. Okay, so it's rarely that you see a textbook idealized perfect zigzag structure. It's more often that you see a bit of a mix of a flat and a zigzag, and it's a lot of mess in between. So that's why we get these counts morph into each other, especially in a correction. But at the moment, the wave count would still suggest lower. Also here, double bottom or whatever this is would typically suggest lower, because double bottoms rarely hold, in contrast to the widespread belief that you find everywhere, right? If they hold, it looks good on the chart, but they rarely hold. Oftentimes you see a lower low after the first low, and the fact that it came down that much would indicate that we will head down lower. Obviously it's all probabilities, but I expect a break of 25.3K at some point. So far the forecast has been corrected. We expected lower prices for Bitcoin here, but it's just a pain. It just takes time. But obviously we're now also in a region where prices finally reached the price region that we wanted to see, around 25.3K, the 50% retracement. So it's all about, it can easily turn around at any time, but without an impulse to the upside that would break above resistance, I can't confirm that. And I think this move up will be fast. And the resistance level here, which is relevant for invalidation of the detailed structure here, is the wave 2 high at 26,820, 830, depending on the exchange. For now, I think we're looking at this as a possible wave 4 top. K could also still be ongoing, but at the moment I'm counting that as a wave 4, with a wave 5 to come lower. So let's see how the new week is starting. Again, if we move to the upside, it is, in my opinion, likely a larger corrective bounce, which can of course happen. If we really break above 26,830, I would start to look at the option that we might have bottomed in all of wave 2 already, but I wouldn't like it based on the structure. I wouldn't find it very likely. We explored that here as well when Bitcoin rose quite impulsively, but I did highlight to you that for the price to go lower was still the primary expectation, and it still is. We can explore things when we start to see a first impulse, but then we need to wait for the 3-wave pullback and need to look at the structure and how it develops. And at the moment, the structure to the upside looks very corrective. So at this stage, price is probably preparing for another drop. But we keep our options open here. I mean, this is literally just movement in a price channel. We really need that break below the yesterday's low to confirm, which was around 25,370. And then hopefully we get that final flush. The daily RSI is still a little too high, in my opinion, to form an all of wave 2 low. But yeah, so far it's following the price channel, and I think there should be a final flush. But obviously will change my view if we see the first impulse to the upside, and Bitcoin has avoided in this entire price channel to create a nice impulse to the upside, which is why we were focused on lower. But be aware when that pump comes, when that move comes, don't be surprised, it will be fast. If it really is an impulse and the third wave is starting, it will be fast. So make sure you're comfortable with how you're positioned. If you want to be positioned, you might choose not to be positioned and to wait for the first impulse and the first 3-wave pullback. But just make sure you're comfortable so you don't, feel left out when prices move. Okay, that's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.